Hi guys, welcome back to On the Same Page with me, Paige. This is episode 4 and I have my co-host with me, Zainab.
Hi guys.
Today's topic of discussion is going to be how religious headwear is now transitioning into being fashion statements. So stay tuned for our conversation. Guys, today we are talking about how religious headwear is now becoming fashionable, and to prove that example, I am wearing what do you call this, like a head wrap?
A turban.
A turban, yeah, like a self-made turban. You can get the ready-made ones. I've actually twisted this one today, and I actually like it for fashion reasons, and I find I'm seeing more and more people wearing this kind of headwear for a fashion statement with the hooped earrings. Hello. And I've even worn it when I went on holiday to Mykonos. I wore a green one to go with my green bikini, and I had my braids out.
It completes the outfit, doesn't it?
Yeah. And for me, that was all about the gram and the picture. And for me, it wasn't anything to do with religion. But the reason I'm bringing this up and starting with that conversation is because I have my beautiful friend Zainab here. Zainab, would you like to say what religion you are?
So I'm Muslim.
So Zainab's Muslim, but you cover and don't cover your hair, don't you?
Yeah.
So just talk me through your religion and covering your hair and your choice of not covering your hair, and when you do and when you don't, whether it's you wear wigs and things like that, and your perception on how you now see other Muslim, females that are wearing headwear, but maybe not in the correct way as we've previously discussed off camera.
Well, so personally, the reason why I started wearing a headscarf is like for religious reasons, and I wouldn't even say fashion at all. And when I started, I actually wasn't comfortable with it at all. This was about maybe 3-4 years ago, and I wanted to engage myself in like the religion a bit more, because obviously Islamically you're supposed to wear a headscarf, dress modest, so cover your hair, cover your whole body, don't show your figure at all. So started wearing the headscarf, didn't feel comfortable at all with it, because obviously...
Was that because you was worried about how people would judge you and look at you?
Of course, it's absolutely about image, and especially if initially I was showing my hair, and for me, my hair was a big part of my image. Because I used to do braids, put my weave on, wigs, like the whole shebang. So obviously, transitioning from, I'm not going to be showing that anymore. So it almost takes away from your beauty. That's how I felt, at least. Like it was taken away from my beauty. So, struggled with that at all.
So, sorry to interrupt you. So you said it almost took away your beauty, because your hair does make your face.
It makes you.
There's some styles you can and can't pull off. Like Amber Rose is bald. I couldn't then go shave my hair. That would change my whole face and how I looked, and probably I'd look a bit edgier, or if you have spiky hair you look a bit more rocky. If you have curly hair it's seen as like luscious. So hair is like a massive statement on its own. And then like you say, wearing wigs and switching that up.
So imagine stripping that away, like you kind of feel like an alien in your own body. Exactly.
Would you say that part of the religion of, because I don't follow any religion, so please quote me or correct me if I'm wrong, but part of covering your hair, is that to strip away that beauty in a sense, so men see you as a natural light, or is it to stop you looking sexy? Is it like what is the reason behind that?
So no one should take my word like 100% accurate, right? Because I'm not the most religious person. But from my understanding,
aren't you?
But from my understanding of the whole dressing modest is so you're not really attracting the opposite sex as much, because if you're like showing off your body, showing off your figure, you're constantly attracting male's attention, and that's not how it should be. It's all about being pure, as pure as you can be,
Would you say you'd need confidence as well? Because like you said, you felt quite naked. And even with me wearing this today, I've only just started wearing turbans and head wraps and scarves and so forth, and big bands that cover majority of my hair, and I feel like with just my face, I feel like a little bit of an egghead. But at the same time, because of fashion, I'll see girls pull it off, non-religious girls, non-Muslim girls, from white to Caribbean to whatever race, and I think, oh, if they can pull it off, I can. I'm like, I generally like that look. So it is a confidence thing in the sense that I personally, I've rocked it to work before, but I feel comfortable at work. But I don't know if I'd actually go to like a social, popular networking event until I felt comfortable. I feel like my face, I'd have to wear a lot of makeup.
But basically. Do you think it's confidence because you actually feel comfortable doing it, or it's confidence because your environment and the fact that it's popular and that's the trend at the moment? Is that what's giving you that confidence to do it though?
I think so,
because if it wasn't a trend, you probably wouldn't do it.
No,
you know. But there are women still out there that are doing it and that have been doing it for God knows how many years.
Yeah, because that's what they're following. It's part of their religion, and it's not to do with fashion at all.
See, the religion, like even Islamically, I'm wearing it wrong. Like I should.
Because you're showing your edges.
I'm showing my edges. I should be covering like my ears and my neck. Like you're supposed to be wrapped up like this. This wouldn't be considered as a scarf.
Okay.
Like when people see me and they're like, oh, like some people be like, are you Muslim? Are you not? Are you doing it for fashion? Like what is the actual purpose of this? Like like. It's,
and what would you say your purpose is? Because you have got your edges out, so technically you're showing hair, which is breaking a rule, would you say?
I feel like it's trying to find a comfortable balance between the two, in the sense that I'm not fully religious, like I'm not fully engaged with the religious, but I still want to try and abide by it. And I'm taking baby steps, I guess, like it's just baby steps. So eventually, who knows, maybe in like a year or two I'll be fully covered up. But God knows if that's going to happen. But you know, from like not wearing a scarf to now covering up, you have to take those baby steps and allow yourself to actually fully adapt to it. Because if you don't understand it and if you're not comfortable in it, what's the point? You know?
No, I totally agree. And I think it's such a big statement. And I think you do have to be generally, whether you're doing it for religion or fashion, I generally think a woman that rocks it is a woman of confidence. Because once you do take away your hair, like you see your full head shape, I feel like I had to wear quite a lot of makeup because I've done quite a bold lip.
You have to make up for it, you know.
But again, women that do wear the headscarf and the turbans to cover their hair for their religion, are they allowed to wear makeup and over accessorize with a bold lip and eye? Because they do their eyebrows very well. They'll do like a bit of eyeliner and a flick. Is that allowed?
Is that where it gets a little bit controversial, because again, it's taken away from that whole modesty thing, you know, because you're wearing a scarf to stay modest, but then you've got this bold look, like you've got your eyebrows done, your makeup, like highlighting, contouring, and you're like, hold on, but that kind of defies the whole purpose of it. But I'm not going to be in any position to be like, oh yeah, that person is doing it wrong, because at the end of the day, Islam is all about your intention. So their intention could be absolutely pure, but they might not feel 100% comfortable with just wearing the scarf. So like you said, they have to over accessorize. So reality is maybe like the super religious people might be like, no, like you're doing it wrong. You're supposed to be pure. You're supposed to be in your natural form. So no makeup. Like obviously if you're going to wear earrings, like that's accessorizing, but it's not going to, you're not overcompensating, are you? So it's do you know what? It's all so controversial, like religion,
it's very
and fashion, and exactly, like it's so hard to be like, oh yeah, this is how it should be, without not sounding like a hypocrite or judging people, because you're not supposed to. Do you get it? Like I don't know. It's a bit weird.
Okay, so I have a question. Do you feel more comfortable wearing your turban now that it's more socially acceptable, so to speak, because of fashion, and you're not really looked at or judged to, like, you don't stand out like a sore thumb, like, I know she's religious, I know she's Muslim, or I know she's Sikh or Islamic, or even like we said before, Christian, because if you're a nun and things like that. So there's so many different religions that obviously do wear turbans, but we only recognise the main source, which is populated in society as being Muslim or Islamic. Like same thing, but because of social media and Instagram and girls on the beaches and rocking it, and I do feel like it is a big holiday trend now as well. Like people are buying the big bow headbands and things like that. So does that make you feel more comfortable, or was you comfortable beforehand?
I feel like I was comfortable before I realised that it was a fashion statement, you know, because I never used to wrap it like this. I used to have like my own little style that I did, and I became comfortable enough to walk out of my house on a daily basis and just be like, oh yeah, like this is the look that I'm going for, you know, and not feeling any type of way. So I guess it's self-confidence in that sense. But after a while, I realised that it was a fashion statement, and like there was just a lot of YouTubers out there that were wrapping it in like a turban style. And it boosted up my confidence in the sense that, other people are doing it and I know I'm rocking it well. But I feel like even before then, I was just comfortable. I feel like eventually, if you keep on doing something, you become comfortable with it, you know. No matter like, you're not going to, that you get to a certain point when you stop caring about other people's opinion of you. So I guess that's the stage I got to before I realised it was a fashion statement.
So that's fair enough.
Yeah, and I'm proud of myself, so you know.
You should be.
Thank you.
You rock it well. And I met you like this, so I initially only knew this as being like your style, your thing. So and that's what I try and tell my friends when they want to try something new is no one out there has seen you. When you're going to that event, none of those people are strangers. So whether you walk in with blonde hair, a turban on, you want a baseball cap, or you want a fisherman's hat on, or you want to rock a completely different style that's not really your usual comfort zone style, people are only going to know that as you. So in their head, they're going to go, that girl's rocking that, because they only know that as being your style.
Yeah, of course.
So.
You know, I feel like with the work environment, I feel like it gets a bit weird considering the fact that sometimes I'm in a turban, other days I've got my natural hair out or I've got a wig on, and it's that constant reminder and trying to explain to like new people that obviously don't know me, and they're like, hold on, like didn't you have a scarf on the other day? Like what's happening? Like is this religion? Is it fashion? And it's that constant having to explain yourself, which I think kind of gets annoying in a bit, or you just feel like, why do I have to explain myself? If like, just understand like this is me, like this. I could be anyone. I'll be different people each day, you know. Like, it's like the whole DMX challenge that's going on. Like, who do you want me to be today? Do you want Zaynab? Do you want like Paige? Like, hello? Yeah, but
John
it's that
Zay.
exactly. But it's that constancy of like having to explain yourself and be like, oh yeah, I'm just wearing it because I can.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, oh, but what about religion? Like, doesn't this go against it? And you're like, yes, but at the same time, I need to.
Yeah, let me do me. I'm doing it and I'm expressing myself, but expressing yourself, but you're taking baby steps.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, going back onto fashion, where what are your thoughts on turbans and headscarves and wraps and everything becoming more fashionable? Do you see other people within like your community of Muslims, do they look down on people like us? Do they have a judgment on it? Do they think that, I don't know, it's a good thing? Do you see it as a good thing? Do people see it as we're embracing it? But then again, I guess we're not embracing because we're not doing it for religious purposes, we're doing it for a social point of view. But for people that do it, how is that seen from a religious point of view when you see a non-Muslim person wearing your garment that's religious to you? Is it disrespectful or is it...
This is the thing, I personally don't have an issue with it, and I don't see how other Muslims could have an issue with it, because if they're wearing a turban just like this, personally I don't see it as a religious symbol, you know?
Because you've got your edges out.
Because you've got your edges out. Even if my edges went out and like it was proper
I'm wearing it
covered.
better than you. Exactly. My ears are covered.
Exactly. But see, I still see this as a fashion statement. Yeah. Now, if you unwrap that, right, and you wrapped it properly where you were covering your neck, covering your ears, and the only thing that I could see was your face, then like if a non-religious person was doing it, or if someone that wasn't Muslim was doing it, then I'll be offended,
Yeah.
you know? Because then I'll be like, hold on, you're kind of taking the mick out of my religion now.
Yeah.
And you're not doing it for the right reason.
You're doing it for likes.
Exactly, you're doing it for likes. Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Islam is not a fashion statement, you know?
Yeah.
It's a religion. It's people trying to live their life.
Yeah.
Like embracing God and doing things pure. But where it's like a headscarf, a turban, I don't see it as an issue. I don't see it as a religious thing.
Yeah.
But then again, it just goes back to your intention, you know?
Yeah.
Because it can, like, I hear what I'm saying, and it kind of like counterfacts the fact that I'm wearing it for a religious reason, but I'm not wearing it properly, and I wouldn't count this as a religious thing. You know?
That's how you feel comfortable. You're comfortable with the fact that you have covered majority of your hair, but you still want to have the flexibility.
Exactly. Yeah. But like I said, I personally don't see an issue with non-Muslims wearing it. I don't see why any Muslims would have an issue with it, because they're not taking the mick.
No.
They're not
and
offending.
in one aspect, because obviously Britain is known as very showing your skin, wear deep plunge, booty shorts, the flip flops are out, ankles are out, full galore. Everyone's getting bouncy blow dries, wanting the luscious long locks, hair extensions. So I guess personally, I don't know, this is just a personal statement, that when a Muslim man sees someone like me, a non-Muslim girl, and I still might be in my work skirt with dollies showing my ankles, but if I've got this on, maybe he would see me as more like a respectable woman because I'm not all out, or is it because I'm showing my ankles regardless, it counteracts it?
You're showing your ankle regardless, it counteracts it. Like, I wouldn't see it as a religious thing. Like, if you're half naked, then it's purely fashion, you know? I'll see it as it has nothing to do with religion.
But do you feel like that religious man, that Muslim man would look at me and be like, well, she's covering her hair like, because you know, it has been known, and rightfully so, because that is what they've been taught, is women that show breast, ankle, leg, whatever, are making themselves a like show and putting themselves on display. So, and they look down to that because they don't believe that's how women should be, and that's how their woman is and their children. So do you think when they see someone that isn't religious with something like on, do you think they kind of think in their head like, oh, like that's quite respectful, or do you think they just don't have a thought at all?
I feel like it's down to the individual,
you
know, and like how your mentality is, because different people are going to think differently about it, you know. Some guys will look at you and think like, yeah, you look a bit respectable because you're still kind of dressed modest, you know, and other people will be like it really is what it is, it's not an issue.
You're still showing stuff that you should be showing.
But I feel like in this day and age, like where we're so modern, it's hard hard to like separate what's religious and what's fashion.
It is.
Honestly,
it is. The topic of conversation today, you could see a girl wearing a turban, and particularly on that day, she might generally be wearing leggings and a jumper, but she's not covering up because she's religious. It's a cold day. She rocks the head wraps, and that's what she likes doing. So it probably is it's hard to judge a book by its cover these days.
No, of course.
It's not as obvious. And you can't determine who is and who isn't.
It's true, and I feel like especially culture plays a big deal in like religion, you know, and where you're saying you can't tell who's who anymore. I feel like it's to do with the fact that most of us are very much westernized, you know, so we're trying to again get the balance correct between being like religious and being a part of society and being appealing to others. And you know, everyone wants to do everything for the gram, everyone wants to look cute at all time, but you're still trying to stay modest if you're Muslim.
Right guys, that is the end of today's topic of religion transitioning into fashion styles with headwear, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope we didn't offend anyone. It's literally just how Zainab is with her religion, and everyone has their different flexibilities and their different ways, and I hope I haven't offended anyone, but it was just really good to discuss how certain religious attire and dress wear is now becoming fashionable in society. So it'll be interesting to see how it develops. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, comment and share, And thank you for watching On the Same Page. Zainab, would you say we're on the same page?
Absolutely.
Yes. Mwah. Thank you.
See ya.